Hello, everyone. I'd like to continue with the narration of chapter 5 from the manuscript that I've written recently, The Real Beauty and the Beast Life is Not a Fairy Tale. So, the title of the fifth chapter is The New Guest. Some guests arrive uninvited yet brighten up your life with their presence. Others come invited but bring trouble along. Before deciding to share my home with Soumya Sundarajan for a year, I wanted to carefully review her personal diary of life. After all, she might become an important part of my manuscript. I have lunch with Soumya and we begin to connect. She seems genuinely warm with a kind smile and deep compassion for others. Her outer beauty reflects the strength within. As our conversation deepens, she opens up about a trauma, her broken marriage, and the ongoing stress of divorce proceedings. I empathize. For a moment, I glimpse the vulnerability behind her confident exterior, a lamb behind the face of a lioness. Her eyes fill with tears. I gently console her and offer her a place to stay. Without probing further into her past life, I assure her that this will be the last time we discuss it, and I mean it. She smiles through her tears, and we finish our meal. Soon after, I speak to my senior about Soumya staying with me. We are all relieved to have her accommodation resolved. More than anyone, I'm grateful to have found a new companion, a confident, dynamic woman who, despite her struggles, faces the future with courage and finds joy in her work. Soumya decides to move into my house after a week, needing time to settle a few personal matters. That evening, I return from office smiling. Somehow, the thought of being alone fades away. I quickly start making arrangements for Soumya's stay. Just then the doorbell rings. Standing at the gate is Richard, my new neighbor. He needs help setting up his internet and getting settled in the community. I invite him in and offer a cup of coffee along with some Indian snacks. He enjoys it all and compliments the flavors warmly. There's something about Richard that reminds me of my son, perhaps his age or the easy charm in his presence. There's a warmth in him that instantly lights up a space. It's kind of charisma that breathes life into a dull evening. I feel the same brightness I see in my son whenever Richard is around. Richard leaves after some time, equipped with the information he needed. A hush settles in. Even Maya, the central character of my story, has embraced the silence. I assume Chintu and Sandeep are away as neither is in sight. Maya sits quietly, soaking in the breeze, her face calm and content. There's a quiet strength about her today, a woman in harmony with herself, relishing her own inner beauty. Inside my house, away from the beast of loneliness that once haunted me, I find myself absorbed in thoughts from earlier today. During lunch, colleagues buzzed about the latest internet sensation, a social media influencer known as Mr. G. With millions of followers, he is hailed as the king of all influencer. I don't know why this random conversation lingers now. I'm unsure if Mr. G will find his way into this manuscript or my professional journey, but for now, I let the thoughts rest. My focus remains on Maya and her family, Soumya, Richard, and the story slowly unfolds around us. Just then, my son calls. Since he follows many influencers, I ask him about Mr. G. He says, Amma, you don't know who's he? The whole world knows him. He's the influencer. There's no one beyond him in the digital world. How did you hear about him? You're hardly on social media. I replied, there was a discussion at the office today. Since you follow influencers, I thought I'd check with you. I quickly hang up as I hear a noise from Maya's house. She's crying loudly in pain as Sandeep slams the door in her face and walks away, a bag in hand. She begs, please don't leave. I won't be able to live without you. He arrogantly walks out. I'm relieved their little one is not witnessing this. This time, I make up my mind to approach Maya and support her struggle. She sits inside, crying and frantically calling Sandeep, but there's no response. I watch her from my window. When she notices me, she looks embarrassed, but I pretend to ignore the scene and step away to give her space. My heart won't let me leave her alone. I step back and see her crying as if she wants to share her pain. I look at her with empathy and ask, "Do you need help? I'm here if you do. Want to come home and be there with me for a while? I promise no questions. Maybe some quiet moment will help." She's surprised to hear this from a stranger, but in such moments, support is a blessing. She accepts and come home. I offer her a glass of water and leave her space, letting her decide if she wants to talk. Later, she approaches me and I try to comfort her. Then she begins to share her story, an ocean of disturbing events that I'll summarize in the next chapter. I'd like the viewers to know that this is a work of fiction and has nothing to do with real life, and this is a narration from someone else, and I'm just the writer of the story. So that's all for the day, and thanks for watching, and thanks for your time.